Richard, and I'm recording this video for all the people that cannot comprehend the background line in the first one. Alright, so I'll be using both English and Hindi for this recording, and I'll try to use English as my main preference. For explanation purposes, I'll switch to Hindi in between. So, this is the letter from the executive board. You'll have to see this yourselves because I cannot really tell more about it. Get into the main background line. What happened first thing, where we have to start our research? It's the 2016 elections. What elections are we talking about? The United States presidential elections that work on the system of the electoral college. So, first of all, try to understand the concept of how a electoral college works. That will be great. So, for the 2016 elections, first we need to see what were the candidates. Well, when we talk about United States, there are two prominent parties that are present: Republican and Democratic. So, in the 2016 presidential elections, the Republican Party had Donald Trump and Mike Pence as its ballot. Ballot is basically the poll that you cast for the party, while the Democrats had Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine. So, as you all are probably aware, Donald Trump won the presidency from 2016 to 2020. Right. So, I have explained how Donald Trump was able to win this presidency. So, in United States, how the electoral system works is built in a way that there are only a few states that actually determine who win the president. Electoral college was built in a way for every state to have equal representation and not make politicians go to only few states. However, the electoral college caused some very weird swing states to appear. That is, the states which, if you then vote that votes there, you will ultimately get a very high chance of winning the presidential election. So Donald Trump this only. Donald Trump won a lot of votes from the following states. Um, when we talked about how the map looked, this was the map after the election of 2016. What can be said is Donald Trump was able to win this presidency for the Democratic Party had a woman candidate. If you're not aware, the US history has never had a woman president till date. However, the Democratic Party wanted to show that Hillary Clinton is someone who is very eligible for the post of presidency. So they had that candidate. This was a booster in Trump's chances of winning the presidency. After 2016 to 2020, I thought. After that, the 2020 presidential elections took place again. And these are the famous elections that we are talking about here. In this election, we had Donald Trump versus our Democratic opponent, that was Joe Biden. Now, Donald Trump and Joe Biden do a long way. They are again having the rival in the 2024 presidential elections. So, what happened in 2020, as you're aware, is Joe Biden won the presidency for the Democratic Party. Now, what Trump thought about the election was rigged and it was not carried through fair means. Donald Trump allegedly claimed that it was the Republican Party and him who actually won the election, and he did not accept the defeat against Joe Biden. So, he tried to challenge it. He tried to ask the vice president and claimed that the vice president has the power to change the vote, change who wins the presidential elections. So, in this light, I've also articulated why did people not vote for Donald Trump this time? What actually happened that caused Trump's popularity to go down as compared to 2016? Right. So, now, how does January 6th, such a prominent date, play a role in this committee, that is the Supreme Court simulation? So, what happened was January 6th was the Congress in the US Capitol had decided to host a common session chaired by the Vice President to count the ballots and see who won the presidential election. So, in the morning of January 6th, Donald Trump decided to call upon a rally and gave such speeches that got his supporters to possibly attack the US Capitol. Donald Trump claims that he did not have intent to get his followers to attack the Capitol. However, it can be strongly claimed that it was Donald Trump's words who caused the people to actually rush to the Capitol and attack the Capitol. This is termed as the January 6th insurrection in formal terms. So I have elaborated upon Donald Trump's speech, what was the claims, and after that we get to the January 6th insurrection itself. People from all over United States, on the command of Donald Trump, gathered near the US Capitol on January 6th. And when Trump gave a speech in the morning, they were so urged that they broke into the US Capitol. These are images of people actually getting into the Capitol. This is what the US Capitol looked like that on that day. Donald Trump again was saying that this was a stolen election. He is fighting for the right that he has won the presidency, but Joe Biden has his ways and corrupt government officials that are making him win the presidency. So I have elaborated upon that here. So after the January 6th insurrection, first of all, the US Capitol was evacuated, of course, just for the sole reason that you cannot have politicians in a place that is very under attack, right? So the U.S. Capitol was emptied. U.S. Capitol was made better in when we call forces how to guard the U.S. Capitals. After that, a special committee, bipartisan committee actually, was established by the House of Representatives. You need to make sure that the Senate, that is Republican led by Mitch McConnell, did not consent to the formation of the January 6th Special Committee, but it was the House of Representatives, a part of the U.S. Congress, that decided to form the January 6th Special Committee to see what actually happened on January 6th and how the January 6th took the election. So, the insurrection was checked upon and investigated by the January 6th Special Committee. And the Special Committee was chaired by someone called Benny Thompson, and Liz Cheney was the person who was the Vice President of the January 6th Special Committee. Um, when we talk about Benny Thompson was a Democrat, while Liz Cheney was a Republican. While we got to vote on the formation of the special committee in the Senate, only two Republicans voted in favor of the committee forming. And those two Republicans were the ones in the House that decided to serve on the special committee itself. So the special committee held multiple sessions, issued many subpoenas, and got so many investigative people to get together, examine the evidence, take interviews, and so much more. It presented its findings in form of a roundtable discussion where they brought forward the witness, it presented the evidence that they had gathered, and formed the case for the Department of Justice to further indict Donald Trump. So this can be seen how the January 6th committee actually functioned. This was Donald Trump giving the speech in the morning of January 6th at 12:06 p.m. Now, I have given a little brief about how the United States Supreme Court works, and where we stand is the United States Supreme Court has already approved the court case to be discussed. That is, it has been granted a writ of certiorari. In India, we call it a PI, a petition for something something. So in US, we call it a petition for writ of certiorari, wherein we ask the Supreme Court to review the matter by a lower court for it has international importance, or the Supreme Court exercises its right to review that case. And it has met the rule of four. That is, four justices have agreed to the case being discussed in the Supreme Court and the oral briefings to take place. So that is what I have explained over here. This is the US Supreme Court. These are the judges. Then I talked about a very special case, Trump versus Anderson. Basically, the state of Colorado decided to remove President Donald Trump from the ballot, and this matter reached the hands of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court favored Donald Trump from 9-0, that is, unanimously decided to make sure that Colorado, as a state, does not have enough power to rule out Trump from the candidates. Right? So they determined that only Congress has the power to hold the indictment of Donald Trump and possibly impeach him. Now, you can read about this case more as you want. Then I have also told about what Trump is being charged with. You can find more sources online. And at last, I've given a lot of questions for you to ponder about. For if you can find at least answers to four or five, I can guarantee you that a cash prize is guaranteed to you. Because these questions are something that require a lot of logical and complex thinking. So it will be comparatively very helpful if you can find the solutions to these questions. Some questions are not listed clear. They have vague answers, but you need clear replies because in the court of law, you need to present a statement that convinces the Supreme Court justices. So I wish all of you the best of luck. I am Mitra signing off for now. This was your background guide understanding video, and I hope it helps.